Bobby Saint, James Carpinello, and Mickey Duca, Eddie Jemison, meet European arms dealer Otto Krieg at the Tampa seaport, but the FBI ambushes the deal. Bobby is killed, Mickey is arrested, and Otto appears to be shot while resisting. However, Krieg is actually Frank Castle, Thomas Jane, an undercover FBI agent and former Delta Force operator, wrapping up his final mission before retirement. After the operation, Castle retires and attends a family reunion at his father's oceanfront home in Aguadilla Bay, Puerto Rico, planning to move to London with his family for safety. Furious over his son's death, Tampa crime boss Howard Saint John Travolta, alongside his right-hand man Quentin Glass, Will Patton, bails out Mickey, a small-time drug dealer and Bobby's supplier. Mickey explains that Bobby discovered the deal, invested half the money, and joined voluntarily to impress his father. He clarifies that Otto arranged the deal and was killed in a shootout. Howard Saint bribes corrupt federal officers, including Castle's debt-ridden friend Jimmy Weeks, Russell Andrews, to obtain confidential information about Krieg and his federal service record. Upon discovering that Krieg is actually Frank Castle, Saint orders his assassination. His wife, Livia, Laura Herring, insists on escalating the revenge by demanding the massacre of Castle's entire family to settle the score. During Castle's family reunion, gunmen led by Quentin Glass and John Saint, James Carpinello, Bobby's identical twin, ambush the gathering, slaughtering most of the extended family. Castle and his father, Frank Castle Sr., Roy Scheider, fight back, killing several attackers before Castle's father is ultimately gunned down. Meanwhile, Castle's wife Maria, Samantha Mathis, and son will attempt to escape in a Jeep, racing toward Castle's father's boat at the pier. However, Howard Saint intercepts them, brutally running them down with a truck, killing both on the spot. Castle arrives too late, left to cradle their lifeless bodies in anguish. John Saint then shoots Castle in the chest, and Glass rigs an explosion, blasting Castle off the pier into the water. Miraculously, Castle survives and is rescued by Candelaria, a local fisherman who nurses him back to health. Despite the massacre, the police and FBI refuse to pursue the killers, intimidated by Saint's power and influence. Once recovered, Castle travels to Tampa and takes refuge in an old tenement where three young outcasts, Dave, Ben Foster, Bumpo, John Panette, and Joan, Rebecca Romaine, live. Castle abducts Mickey Duca, who fearfully gives up information about the Saints, but soon willingly becomes Castle's mole, given that he despises the Saints as much as Castle does. Howard had made Mickey into a parking valet to teach him a lesson. Castle studies the Saint family and learns their every move. Castle starts exacting revenge on the police and FBI agents who have been bribed to close the investigation of his family's murder. In the process, he sabotages Saint's money-laundering business and severs Saint's partnership with Cuban mobsters the Toro brothers, and starts tailing Livia and Glass, whom he learns is a closeted homosexual. Saint, realizing Castle is alive, sends two assassins to kill him. Castle kills the first, guitar player Harry Heck, Mark Colley, by shooting a ballistic knife in a Heck's throat. The second is the Russian, Kevin Nash, a behemoth who beats Castle in a brutal fight, but is defeated when Castle throws boiling oil in his face, blinding him long enough for Castle to throw him down a staircase, breaking his neck. Moments later, Saint's men arrive, led by Glass and John Saint. Dave, Joan, and Bumpo hide Frank and refuse to tell Glass where he is, despite Glass pulling out Dave's multiple facial piercings with a pair of pliers. They leave a man behind to kill Castle upon his return, but Castle kills him once Glass and the others are gone. Dave is taken to the hospital, and Castle makes preparations to finish the fight against Saint, despite Joan's attempts to persuade Castle not to. With assistance from Mickey, Castle manipulates Saint into believing Glass and Livia are having an affair. With Mickey's help, Castle poses as an anonymous blackmailer and arranges for Glass to be at certain places while planting Livia's car in the same location and ultimately placing one of Livia's earrings in Glass's bed. Saint, unaware Glass is gay and believing Livia to be capable of cheating on him, stabs Glass to death. Despite her protest that Glass was gay, Saint accuses Livia of having an affair with his best friend and throws Livia off an overpass onto a railroad track, where she is run over by a train. In desperation, Saint provides each of his henchmen with $50,000 and offers $50,000 more to whoever manages to find and kill Castle. Castle, however, attacks Saint's headquarters, the downtown Tampa nightclub Saints and Sinners, killing many of Saint's henchmen. He also kills John Saint, who is trapped under collapsed debris, by having him hold an 8-pound, tripwire-activated grenade in his fully extended arm until his arm wearies and the grenade explodes. Castle wounds Howard Saint with a pistol when Saint attempts to shoot him in the parking lot of the nightclub. Castle then ties Saint to a slow-moving car, but not before revealing that Glass and Livia were not having an affair. Several hidden bombs go off, killing Saint in the process. The destruction and wreckage culminate in the shape of the Punisher's iconic skull. Later that night, Castle returns to his apartment and prepares to commit suicide, but after a brief vision of his wife, decides to continue his vigilante mission against others who in his mind deserve punishment. Before departing on his next mission, he leaves most of Saint's money for Bumpo, Joan and Dave. On the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, he vows, "Those who do evil to others, the killers, the sexual predators, psychos, sadists will come to know me well. Frank Castle is dead. Call me the Punisher."